Now see, this is the first session for logic. 3-4 small points are remaining. We'll see one by one. First point is quantifiers and quantified statement. See, quantifiers itself explains that it is related with quantities. Now there are two quantifiers. First one is called for all. This is symbol for that one, called for all, and this is there exists. Symbol for this one is this one. Now the meaning of for all means if particular statement is true for all elements of a particular set, then we use this symbol, or if that condition is not true for all elements of that particular set, then we use symbol this one. Now if you see the example, it will be more clear. Now the question is, use quantifiers to convert into true statement. That means whatever statement you write, it should be a true statement for the set natural numbers. Now see, the x square is equal to 25. Now on the set of natural number, x square is equal to 25. Is it possible? No, x square is equal to 25 is possible only for x is equal to 5. That means it is not true for all elements of natural number n. So you will write a quantified statement of x square is equal to 25 as, see, the statements are written like this. Whether it is true for not all or all, there are only two possibilities. So there exists x belongs to n such that x square is equal to 25. Such that you can write here. So this is the quantified statement you can write. The format of that quantified statement is there exists x belongs to n such that x square is equal to 25. Now see the second one. It is 2x plus 3 less than 11. Now see, 2x plus 3 less than 11, that is 2x less than 8. So x less than 4. So when you say x less than 4, this statement is true for all n. X less than, it is only true for x less than 4. That means this is not true for all natural numbers. So again you write there exists x belongs to n such that 2x plus 3 less than 11. So we will not write for all because this statement is not true for all natural numbers. This statement is true for only 3 natural numbers, 1, 2 and 3. Now see this one. X square plus 2x minus 10 is equal to 0. See, it's obvious one, it is a quadratic equation. Now this will have two roots. So only two values of x will satisfy this one, not all values of n. So again you will write a statement like that. There exists x such that x square plus 2x minus 10 is equal to 0. Now see, x square is greater than or equal to 0. Now you can observe there are all natural numbers whose square is always greater than or equal to 1. So this statement is true for all natural numbers. So we will write for all x belongs to n such that x square is greater than or equal to 1. Now see next one. X cube is less than 64. That means x is less than 4. So x is less than 4. X cube is less than 64 is not true for all values of n. So again we will write here there exists x belongs to n such that x cube is less than 64, and again y plus 4 is less than greater than 6. Now this is not true for all natural numbers. So again we will write here there exists y belongs to n such that y plus 4 is greater than 6. That is y greater than 2 you can call. And y greater than 2, there is only, that means 1 is not there. All y's are greater than 2, but 1 and 2 are there, which is not true for that one. So again we will use there exists for this one. Now see the next question. See, there are only two types of questions are asked on quantifiers. Second one, you have given set V, there was set N, here it is a particular set given to you. Now you have to find the truth value of given statement. That means it is either true or false, you have to decide. Now for all x belongs to be such that x square is negative. Now you can observe one thing here. For this one, they are integers whose square is negative. Is it true? No, it is false. So for all x belongs to B, it is not true for all x. Even it is not true for anyone, but it is not true. So it is a false statement. Then secondly, there exists x belongs to b such that x is a prime number. Observe the numbers here. There exists x. So here there are all prime here? No, 6 is not prime. Cancel. So there exists. That means this statement is not true for all. That's why this statement is true, because if there exists here. Now for all x belongs to be such that x plus 6 less than 12. Now you can just put values of x less than 6, you can call x less than 6. That means this statement is not true for 6 and 7. So that means, and here it is written there for all. So this statement is false one. For all x belongs to be such that 2n plus 2 less than 4. That means it is 2n less than 2 and n less than 1. N less than 1, is there possibility here? No, it is n, actually n greater than 1. So this statement is also false one. So in this way you can determine the statements whether they are true or false. This is for quantifiers. Now we will see next point, and that is negation of given statements. Negations. Now in the last part we have seen logical equivalence. From using that logical equivalence we can write a negation of p and q, that is equivalent to negation of p or negation of q. This is already known to you. Secondly, negation of p or q is equivalent to negation of p and negation of q. Now third, negation of p implies q, and fourth one you can write negation of p, and fifth one you can write negation of p implies and implies q, is p and not q. So there are only 5 negation statements. Now see this one, this is negation of p is implies p, and using this one you can write negation of this one. See, p implies and implies q means it is p implies q and q implies q. You have to write a negation of that one using this and. Now first of all it is p implies q, that means this one, so it is equivalent to p and not q. Now it is and, that's why it becomes or. Now it is q implies p, so it is q and not p. Now see, you have to just remember these 5 logical equivalent statements. These are too simple ones. Only you have to convert and into or into and. You have to make negations of both statements. Now only you have to remember this one. See, observe this one also. It is implication here and it is not implication on the right hand side. It is p and negation of q. So this is a statement without having that implication sign, and p implies and implies negation of p and negation of p, that is equal to p. That means, and you have to just remember this one, you have to write down statements. Now how do you use this negation to solve questions? Now let us see. The question on these 5 negations is write negations of following statements. Now first of all we see few examples where we use only these 5. First one, the number 6 is even number and number 25 is perfect square. That, see, there are 5 connectives and there are 5 types of negation statement. Now this statement is given to you, it is of the type and, that means it is of this type. Now while writing negation, only you have to write down a statement of this type. But before that one you have to specify what is your p and what is your q. So we will write answer like this: p, the number is number 6 is even number, the number 6 is even number. I write only 1, and then q is the number 25 is perfect square. Now how do you write negation? First of all, write down negation of p and q is equivalent to negation of p or negation of q, and then you will write statement like this. The statement will be of this type: the number 6 is not even number. Now you will write, instead of this and, you will write or. number 25 is not perfect square. That means you will make negation of first statement, negation of second statement, and instead of this and you will write or. Now see this next statement. The sun is star or Jupiter is planet. The sun is star or Jupiter is planet. Now you have to first identify which type of statement it is. It is a statement of the type disjunction, that is or, because it is or given. Now clearly this is your P, so you write P, sun is a star, and then you write Q, Jupiter is planet, and then you write this formula, and then you write your answer as the sun is not a star, and you write instead of or you write and Jupiter is not planet. So it is very simple to write down negations of the statements which are of the type conjunction or disjunction. Now let us see example of this type. That means a statement given in the form of if then. If two triangles are congruent, then their areas are equal. So this is statement of the type P implies Q. Now you have to write down your statement like this, but before that one you have to specify what is your P and what is your Q. That means see the here you write P, two triangles are congruent. If then you will not write, and then you write Q, areas of triangle are equal. You will not write their areas are equal. You will write areas of triangles are equal, and then you will write statement of this type. First of all you will write this formula, and then you write two triangles are congruent and their areas are not equal, right there. So negation you have to write only for Q, not for P. P as it is you will write you will not write if and then in that one. Two triangles are congruent and their areas are not equal. So it is not difficult once you know this formula. And then we will take one more example. 2n is divisible by 4 if and only if n is even integer. N is even integer. So this is problem of the type the last one, if and only. Here your P is 2 is divisible by 4, sorry 2n is divisible by 4, and your statement Q is n is even integer. Now without any hesitation or without having gone into its meaning, you will write statement of this type. 2n is divisible by 4 and n is not even integer, and sorry or here or Q, that means n is even integer and 2n is not divisible by 4. So without having its meaning, you just put the values of P and Q in this formula. So you should only remember the formula. So it is not difficult to write down statement negation of statements like that. Now sometimes a simple statement is given to you. For example, some continuous functions are differentiable. Now if you observe this statement, it is a single statement. There is no and, there is no or, if then, if and only. A simple statement, but it starts with some. You have to write its negation. Only you have to remember one thing. If it starts with some, you start with on and write down the statement. Make its negation. All continuous functions are, here you write, not differentiable. That means you have to make negation, but for the word some you have to write all. See, in some statements quantifiers are used. Instead of some there exists like that, or instead of all for all symbol like that. you have to remember the same thing. You have to convert sum into all or all into sum, and you have to make negation of the remaining statement. We will take one more. All natural numbers are integers. Now it starts with all, which is a simple statement. We'll start with some natural numbers are not integers. So you have to make its negation, but only you have to change all to some or some to all. Now these are the negations and their uses. Now let us see last point in this one, that is converse, inverse and contrapositive. Now these are the three statements you have to write from a given statement. Your given statement is of the type P implies Q. This is implication statement that will be given to you, and you have to write this one and this one using the first statement. Now the converse is Q implies P. I think this is well known to you, because sometimes we prove a theorem and sometimes we try to prove its converse. That means you have to just change the roles of P and Q. This is called converse. Thirdly, inverse. It is negation P implies negation Q. This type of statement is called inverse of given statement. This is converse of this statement, this is inverse of this statement, and then contrapositive. Negation Q implies negation P. This is called contrapositive. And one more important thing you have to remember, the first statement and the last statements are logically equivalent, and second statement and third statement are logically equivalent. The meaning of that one, P implies Q is logically equal to negation of Q implies negation of P, and Q implies P is logically equivalent to negation of P implies negation of Q. So you have to remember this one. Sometimes you have given four statements and the question can be asked, identify two pairs of the statements of the same meaning. So at that time you have to remember this one. Now you will have given this statement, and then you have to write down its converse, inverse and contrapositive. We will take one example. If man is bachelor, then he is happy. Then he is happy. Now first you have to identify what is your P and what is your Q. Then after then that will be your definitely Q, and then remaining will be your P. So here it will be P, man is bachelor, and Q is he is happy. Or you can write down even man is happy. Now you have to write down first the converse is. First write down the formula and then write down the verbal form of that formula. If a man is happy, you will not write down he is happy. A man is happy, then he is bachelor. You will write down its converse. Then you will write down inverse. Inverse, see, writing inverse is very simple. You have original statement of this type, P implies Q. Only you have to put two negations. Then if man is not bachelor, then he is not happy. That is its inverse. And then contrapositive means once you write its converse, you have to put negation on both sides. Then you get its contrapositive. One more statement I will take. The crop will be destroyed if and only, if there is flood. The crop will be destroyed if and only, if there is flood. Now see, observe this statement. It is no doubt of the type P implies Q, but the roles of P and Q are changed here. If there is flood, then crop will be destroyed. Actually the statement is of this type. this is your Q and this is your P. So first you have to identify what is P and what is Q. Once you write down P and Q from the given statement, then this is given to you. This is your formula for converse, this is inverse, and this is contrapositive. So it is not difficult once you remember these three formulas from the given one. Only thing, read the statement carefully, identify P and Q, and just put the values in this formula. So in this way you can write down converse, inverse, and contrapositive. For commerce and for science, almost the topic up to this is the same. Only for commerce students, one more small topic is added, that is Venn diagram, and for science students it is circuit diagram. We'll see that part in the last lecture later on.